오셨어요? 식사는 하셨...
The World in a Beautiful Book was a fantastic short film, and it really made me think, and I think it'll make all viewers think about creators in our world and how much of their users or viewers, how much of their feelings are because of the creators, and what can we blame the creators for or get angry or upset with, because I think for creators that can mean creatives and their expressions and opinions, and for innovators, it's inventions, software, products, especially like in this film and in our age, so much technology. And so these big things that are created, they disrupt the average person's stasis in life, and we have a response to that, viewers and users. And in this film, we take on the perspective of the creator, and you could see how easily they're criticized after they create something when they might not have thought that far in advance. But they're given so much power now because of what they have created, that now they have to step up to a new level of accountability and see the effect of their actions. So, and I won't spoil the ending, but the ending shot is really beautiful.
The short film was a really interesting look at humans creating art that imitates the painful parts of life and what that means for artificial intelligence or video games or movies or things that can interact with us. And I think it was interesting that we think we're watching one thing and then at the end we see something else. I think it was a really cool addition to make it more philosophical about just life in general. So it was a really cool use of sci-fi to explore human emotion and painful circumstances and mythology and stories in general. So it was cool.
I thought this was so interesting. I really liked how kind of big and spread out they made the realm look, like the room look that he was in, and how it was clearly future something with all this technology and everything going around, and then you introduce this other aspect of it and this other world or section or creation, and it's just so interesting. And I really liked the contrast between the two and how they interacted together. I thought that was really interesting, and another kind of layer that you added into it, and then with how it kind of all finished up at the very end, I thought was really well done and really impactful.
The World in a Beautiful Book is a nice look at, love and playing God and consequences and the power you can have over these people. Very much reminiscent of, as they said in the thing, it was stories like Orpheus and Eurydice, or, Sisyphus, as well as very biblical, it's really about faith in the higher power that created you, and questioning that faith as well with these bad things happen. And I think it's done very well, and the performances are really good, and it's fairly interesting about love and the lengths people go through too.
This one I thought was an excellent exploration of some really intriguing themes, some really relevant themes, and things that I like to think about and like to discuss already, and I think that it did a really good job of tackling them, presenting them in a way that was quite resonant and quite memorable. The lead performances here are very strong all around. I mean, it's mainly two actors going back and forth for a majority of the film, and I think that they were both really doing a good job of capturing the emotions and motivations of their respective characters. The aesthetic of this film was also quite distinct, something that I found myself really enjoying. I think it added to the artificiality of one of the leads' existence with just this very distinct look and feel to their scenes and their environment. The ending I thought was very interesting, very intriguing, and is something that I'm going to be remembering. So I would definitely say that I enjoyed this film.
I thought this film had a lot of really interesting themes. Most importantly would be grief, love, and loss. I think the concept is really interesting to have this man who has gone through his own pain and struggle with grief create the simulation in which he controls. And this is sort of his son in a way, even though he doesn't really have one, at least that we know of. And I think it just kind of shows that While he originally created this for somebody else to go through the same grief he's going through, to sort of feel like he has someone else he can experience this with, it was ultimately the right move to give the simulated man his wife back. I think he kind of realized that that was kind of an unfair thing to do, to create somebody just to feel the same pain he was feeling. And I think it kind of shows that when everyone grieves, especially if it's for the same family member or friend that you share mutually, that you're all going through the same thing, and that turning on each other is not the right thing to do. So I thought this was very well done.
All right, I just finished watching The World in a Beautiful Book, which is a very fascinating piece about a man whose wife has passed away, and in a response, he's created a simulation that reflects a man who is perpetually carrying his dead wife to meet God, which is the creator of the simulation, and beg him to bring his wife back to life. There's a very sort of simulation theory, story in a story, movie in a movie, concept in a reality concept here that I really like, and is a very sort of cerebral approach to what it means to create something, to be viewed as God by that thing, and what the man was actually looking for out of creating this particular simulation. There's a lot of allegories to classic Greek mythology, and there's sort of a general concept, not just about what it really means to be alive or be real in terms of the character within a simulation, but what it means to be a creator, what it means to be someone that's been created. And I thought the ending really backed up this sort of concept. When you see that the artifice of the film breaks apart, you get to watch the actual green screen, the actual people making the movie, which sort of reflects yet another simulation into a simulation. So this was a very trippy idea that I enjoyed, and I felt like it worked on numerous levels.